What is up, everybody? It's your boy Sheik, back at it again with a weekly watch list for the upcoming week. First things first, hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend, but it's time to get back to work, time to get back to business, make some money, and look over what we're going to be playing this week. All right, let's get into it. So, first things first, this week we don't really have much data to start off the week, but to end the week we have a ton of data. So main things: CPI Thursday, PPI Friday. So expect some possible choppiness in the indexes such as SPY and NASDAQ. But what I'm looking at this week is some individual tickers. We'll go over what we had last week for the week before. We'll start off with Tesla. So the first things on Tesla is the weekly chart. As you guys can see, we broke out of this weekly downtrend finally with a large volume coming in as we broke out. So 250 is 250, 152 is where we're at. So the weekly broke out. It's a huge breakout, and I think this is gonna push Tesla way higher. We have a lot more room to go for Tesla. I will be looking for calls on this, but I do want to get a pullback a little bit. Let's look at the daily chart here. So the daily, obviously, we are oversold on the RSI, or sorry, overbought on the RSI, and I would like for us to get a little bit of a reset, maybe even come back down and test this breakout, which is around 230, 228, 230, for us to get better entries. But as of now, I don't really want to chase anything. If we continue to shoot up, then it is what it is. We got our money's worth, but I will be looking for a pullback before I get in. I really don't like chasing multiple green candles like this. Look at these multiple gap ups on days. I do want to reset before we hop into anything. But as far as the weekly and daily go, we have broken out of this downtrend, and we are looking really good on Tesla for a possible test of 275, I believe, on the daily is what I'm seeing next. Yeah, about 277, 275, around this area right here, is where you'll look, for that next price target. After that, it's most likely 300. We don't really have too much resistance between here and 275, but I do want it to get a either a pullback or some consolidation at this 250 level before we make another leg up. I want us to get a bull flag here, some low volume consolidation. As you can see, we've had high volume days for the past 4 days, 5 days, when we've pushed up. So consolidation or a pullback is what I'm looking for, to get back into some stuff. Now, a couple names that are high on my list this week: AMD. As you can see on the daily, we got some above average volume on Friday and a breakout above this downtrend, like getting out of this little triangle. We did test this 173 area, 175, which is the area of resistance on the stock that hasn't been able to break. But I do think that with some volume coming in, we can break out and push to 180, possibly 185 this week. I'll be looking for calls on this, and I'll show you guys some flow later on of what I'm looking at. But AMD does look great. I would like maybe a pullback to this 172 or 170 area, retest it. Hoping for some pullback at open for us to get some really good entries. But AMD is at the top of my list. Another one that I'm looking at, Netflix. I've been looking at this for a while now. As you can see, we've pretty much come into this all-time high of $700.99, 701 basically. We are looking like we might actually break out of here. So what I'm looking at here is on the daily. Why is my volume not showing up here? Let me see here. Okay, so on the daily, we've had some low volume here, consolidation. What I'm looking for is some volume to come in. As you can see, we did have a little bit better volume on Friday. Obviously, Wednesday was a half day, but again, we've had some low volume. We've been consolidating in this area for a while after this nice little volume push right here. But I do think with price action, we've held this 20 MA. This is 90 MA right here. We're above it. If we can break 700, I can see us really pushing. When I've been looking at flow, I saw a ton of calls come in before close on Friday for the 7:30 strike for the weeklies, the 7:12 expiration. a ton of volume. And again, at the end of this video, I'll go over some flow that I'm looking at and the targets I'm looking at for those. But this, I'm looking for a break of 700 to take some calls. Hopefully we don't see a gap up on at open. Hopefully we kind of stay stagnant. But if we get over 700 and hold 700, that's going to be my entry for calls for weeklies. I might even swing some monthly contracts a month or two out to try to gain some, get the whole move on this thing. But if this breaks 700, I think it's going to go crazy. This is a huge cup and possible handle breakout. Looking like we made this cup on the daily. We might be breaking out here soon. So that is what I'm looking for on that one. Even on the weekly, as you can see a huge cup. We might get a handle building up here in the next week or so. So I'll keep an eye on the 700 level for us, but this is on my watch list as well. Amazon. Now, everybody knows I am very in deep with Amazon. We broke out of all-time highs. We've been making a push. I do have a target of about 217, 220 area. So that's what I'm holding my calls for. My expiration is 7/19, so I may add on dips as well, some more calls, but I have the 200 strike, so we are technically in the money. We've been struggling the past few days, but we are technically flagging right under this 200 level, as you can see right here. We've built sort of a ascending triangle here. Volume has decreased as we had this push. We're consolidating. If we can get a push above 200, this thing's going to move, and our contracts are going to go crazy. I know on Tuesday we had up to 50-60% on our calls. They are back to about 15 to 20%, I believe. Still in the green, but I'm holding. I have my target. Obviously, my stop loss is if we lose 194, but it looks good for me to continue pushing. Now, let's see, what other names did I have that I wanted to look at? One name that's been getting a lot of traction on Twitter that I've seen is Pan W. As you can see, another semi name technically, basically, tech name. We had this big push up right here, and we have been consolidating here, and it looks like it's ready for another move up to 350 plus. So I will be keeping an eye on this. It's holding that 90 MA, it's just riding it long, having basically consolidation period. So once we get this break over 345, 350 area, I believe 345 would be the level. But what I want to see is a push above 345, 346 to get us to this 360, maybe even to all-time highs 380. So another name that's on my list. What else? SMCI. SMCI, as you can see, broke out. Went and tested 1,000. Has come back down to test the breakout. It's been holding really well. I really like calls over this 800 as we're holding it. So under 800 would be your risk, and a pushback to 1,000 plus. So I really like SMCI. As you can see, we've had a nice push up, come back down, maybe some large volume here to bring us down, but we held right here, and buyers are pushing it back up. So I do like the SMCI calls this week. Another name that's doing well that I'm going to be looking at is ARM. As you can see, we had this huge breakout and move back up to all-time highs. We've been kind of consolidating here, pulling back down. We held the 20 MA, and we had a nice push last week on the short week, which is absolutely insane to me that they used the short week to kind of push all these stocks up while everybody was out vacationing and partying. But another breakout here as we've hit all-time highs. So I do like ARM, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. Maybe possibly get a pullback down to 170 too long again. But ARM looks good. Meta, this thing's a beast. Had a huge day on Friday on good volume on the daily. It's broken out. It's created all-time highs. I do see this thing continuing to move up, possibly 550, 553 area. Huge name. Obviously, big breakout here. I want to see some continuation tomorrow at open. We don't really have much else those are pretty much the names I'm looking at. Obviously, Netflix and AMD being my biggest ones, and Tesla, obviously. All right, hope you guys got some good information from this video, and I will catch you all in the Discord on voice chat in the morning. Peace out, y'all.